Right. So you're working your way through your business administration studies, and you know it's coming up.
Yeah.
That professional practice, that internship.
Right.
It's a huge bridge to your future career.
It is.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
figuring out where to even begin
Right.
and then how to truly shine
Yeah.
once you're there,
Mm-hmm.
that's the real challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a big one.
It is a pivotal moment for sure.
It really is.
And for a lot of people, it really is that leap, from
Yeah.
the classroom into the professional world. And,
Yeah.
it takes more than just having good grades,
Absolutely.
but to really succeed in that kind of environment.
Yeah, a lot of students, they grapple with the same fundamental questions like,
Right.
how do I even find the right opportunity?
Yeah, where do I even start?
And then once I'm there, how do I stand out?
Right.
How do I make sure that I'm noticed?
How do I make the most of it?
Yeah, exactly.
So we've been looking at a really interesting resource called Grok 3,
Okay.
Navigando el Futuro,
Yeah.
which presents a really interesting solution to this challenge of professional practice.
Yeah.
And that's a complementary set of tools called DeepSearch and Think.
DeepSearch and Think.
Yeah. And they're really designed to fundamentally change how someone would approach the professional practice.
I see. So they work together.
Yeah.
Okay.
So think of it as kind of like a powerful partnership.
Okay.
Deep Search is kind of like your tireless digital market analyst,
Mm-hmm.
constantly, sifting through all this data on job opportunities
Right.
and
Oh.
market trends and everything within business administration.
Constantly working for you in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
And then you have Think,
Okay.
which is more like your personal career strategist.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes everything that Deep Search finds,
Yeah.
all this information,
Right.
and it helps you make sense of it all,
Okay.
build effective plans,
Yeah.
make decisions, really with confidence.
Right. So it's applying that information.
Exactly.
Okay.
And what's really compelling, I think, is how these two work together.
Yeah.
They're structured to support you at every stage.
Okay.
So from that very first search,
Mm-hmm.
where you're trying to find the perfect practice opportunity,
Yeah. Which can be a challenge in and of itself.
it can be really overwhelming.
Right. Yeah.
All the way through to like the final reflections on the experience.
I see.
So it's about making each step,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
a strategic move towards your ultimate professional success
I like that.
in business administration.
Turning it into a journey.
Yeah,
Exactly. With a clear destination.
exactly.
Nice.
So let's dive a little deeper here, starting with Deep Search.
Okay, so let's do it.
This tool is described as an incansable researcher.
Yeah.
And I think that really captures its essence.
Mm-hmm.
It's like having a dedicated, digital market analyst.
Working around the clock.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
working tirelessly for you
Yeah, to find the best opportunity.
to give you that solid foundation of information to work with.
Right, because knowledge is power.
Exactly.
Especially in this competitive job market.
Absolutely.
So where does Deep Search start?
So Deep Search, one of its core functions is its ability to actively discover opportunities.
Right.
So it's not just passively waiting for internship postings or,
Right.
job postings to come out.
It's actively seeking them out.
Yeah, it's going out there and looking.
Okay.
So where exactly does it look?
Well, think about all the digital spaces
Okay.
where business administration internships are typically advertised.
Right.
So we're talking about the major job boards.
Yeah.
The ones that you're probably already familiar with.
Indeed, and those kinds of things.
Exactly. Then you've got professional networking platforms like LinkedIn or X.
Yeah.
And even going directly to company websites.
Oh, yeah. Just going right to the source.
Looking at their career pages. Deep Search casts a wide net
Okay.
across all of these sources.
So it's not just, a random collection of any internship.
Yeah, no.
It's looking for things that are specific to
Right.
your interests.
It's identifying opportunities that really align with your specific areas of interest within business administration. So whether your focus is, more on the financial side of things or
Right.
human resources or marketing strategies or the operational efficiency.
Right. So very targeted to what you're actually
Exactly.
interested in.
It's all about finding the right fit.
Yeah.
So to give you a concrete example,
Okay.
let's imagine you're a student starting your search
Yep.
in your city, let's say.
Go.
Deep Search might find an entry-level financial analyst position
Okay.
at a local bank,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a process optimization role at a regional consulting firm,
Okay.
and perhaps even a logistics support opportunity with
Yeah.
a growing e-commerce company.
The three very different types of,
Exactly, a variety of options to explore. Yeah.
based on your interests.
And it doesn't just, present those to you and say, good luck.
No, it goes deeper than that.
Right.
It provides you with the details you actually need
Right.
to take the next step.
Like the practical stuff.
Exactly, the nitty-gritty.
Jerry.
For each of these potential practices,
Yeah.
DeepSearch would give you the application deadlines.
Oh, okay, so you don't miss out.
You don't miss the boat.
Right.
It'll tell you the specific qualifications
Yeah, what they're looking for.
and skills that they're looking for,
Right,
and
right.
even help you identify the right people to contact.
Oh, wow.
Maybe relevant professionals on LinkedIn,
Oh, that's huge.
or even publicly listed email addresses
Oh, wow.
for recruitment departments.
Okay.
If that information is available.
So you're not, stumbling around trying to find
Right, no more digging through websites for hours.
the right person to reach out to.
Exactly. DeepSearch streamlines that process for you.
And I imagine that would also help uncover.
Oh, absolutely. Opportunities that you might not typically find.
Yes, definitely.
All right.
Deep search can save you a lot of time
Okay.
by automating that initial research phase.
Yeah, just getting rid of all that busy work.
Right, all the legwork.
But more importantly, it can reveal those unique opportunities that you might have otherwise missed.
Exactly.
Like maybe, smaller startups
Right.
that don't have as big of a reach.
That maybe don't have the budget for massive advertising campaigns.
Yeah, exactly.
Or very specialized initiatives
Right.
that are a perfect match for your skills,
Okay.
but you wouldn't know about them.
Unless you had a tool like that looking for you.
Exactly.
Okay, so you've got this list of potential opportunities now.
Right.
But
Yeah.
how do you figure out if these companies are actually a good fit for you?
Yeah, that's the next question.
Because that's a big part of it too, right?
It's huge. Absolutely.
Because it's not just about...
It's not just about getting your foot in the door.
Yeah.
It's about finding the right door.
Right.
The one that leads to a path you're actually excited about. Exactly. So this is where deep search goes beyond just those surface level listings.
Okay.
It helps you really get to know the companies.
So it does like company research?
It does in-depth research.
Okay.
It goes beyond just like the basic About Us page on their website.
Okay, so like a deep dive into the company itself.
Exactly. It's like a background check, but for your career.
I like that.
So what kind of information does it gather?
What are we talking about here?
It looks at a variety of factors that
Okay.
are really critical for making an informed decision. So things like company culture.
Right. What is it actually like to work there?
What's the vibe?
Right.
What's the day-to-day experience like for employees?
Right.
It looks at their recent financial performance.
Okay, are they, thriving? Are they struggling?
Exactly. Are they on an upward trajectory or are they on a downward spiral?
Yeah.
You want to know that?
That's important.
It looks at any significant strategies they've implemented recently.
Oh, interesting.
So are they innovating?
Right.
Are they adapting to market changes?
Yeah, are they, behind the times?
Exactly.
And it even looks at feedback.
Yes, from previous employees or interns.
Oh, wow.
So you can get an insider's perspective.
And where would it find that information?
Places like Glassdoor,
Okay.
where people can leave reviews anonymously.
Right.
Or even company forums or social media,
Oh,
where people might be talking about their experiences.
So you get this really well-rounded...
You get the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
So you can make an informed decision.
Can you give us like a concrete example?
Sure, let's go back to that e-commerce company we talked about.
Okay.
Deep search might reveal that they've had like a 30% increase in sales
Oh, wow.
over the past year.
Okay, so they're doing well.
So that's a sign of growth.
Yeah.
And potential for exciting projects.
Right.
It could highlight that they've recently implemented a new inventory management system,
Okay.
which could mean there might be opportunities to work on optimizing that system.
Right.
Maybe even be involved in some of those projects.
Interesting.
It might also surface feedback
Okay.
that describes a really positive and collaborative work environment,
Okay.
but also notes that the pace can be pretty demanding.
So you're not, going in blind.
Exactly. You have a realistic expectation.
And then it could even find like a news report
It could.
about them expanding into new international markets.
Yeah, so you can see where the company is headed.
So you get a much more...
Right. It's not just about the internship. It's about the bigger picture.
Right. You really see the whole picture.
The company, their values, their direction.
And that really helps you assess
It does.
whether this company aligns with your values
Absolutely.
and your goals. And,
Your long-term career aspirations.
right. Because you don't want to end up somewhere.
Right.
That's not a good fit.
It's about finding the right cultural fit
Yeah.
as well as a good professional fit.
Okay. So you've got all these opportunities laid out now.
Yeah.
You've got a good understanding of the companies. What's the next step?
So now you're probably wondering,
Yeah.
do I actually have what it takes?
Yeah. Do I have the skills,
to get these internships?
experience they're looking for?
Right. Do my qualifications measure up?
And this is where deep search can help with.
This is where deep search shines.
Okay.
Evaluating those requirements.
So it takes the requirements
Those requirements.
and compares them to your profile.
Yeah, your CV,
Yeah.
your coursework, any projects you've done.
Okay.
It's like a personalized skills assessment.
So you can see where you line up.
Exactly. Where are your strengths and where are the gaps?
Okay.
And it doesn't just highlight those discrepancies.
Okay.
It gives you actionable advice on how to bridge them.
Oh, that's great.
So let's say that bank internship
Yeah.
requires basic Excel skills and some financial analysis experience.
Okay. Pretty standard. So deep search would look at your transcript
It would.
and see, okay, you've taken accounting courses.
Right? You've got the financial analysis background.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
You did a project on financial statements.
Perfect.
Okay.
But maybe it notices that you haven't explicitly highlighted any advanced data visualization skills on your CV.
Oh, okay.
Even though Excel proficiency is mentioned as a requirement.
Right.
So it might suggest that you take an online tutorial
Okay.
in something like Power BI
Okay.
to enhance your profile.
To really stand out.
Yeah, and show that you're going the extra mile
Okay.
to meet their needs.
So it's really giving you that edge
It's all about giving you that competitive advantage.
by being proactive
Exactly.
and addressing those potential gaps.
Filling in the missing pieces.
Yeah. Before they even come up.
Right.
Okay. So now you've got
Right.
promising opportunities.
You know the companies.
Yeah. You understand the company.
You know where you stand.
You know where you stand. You've identified your strengths and weaknesses.
You've got a plan.
What's next?
Now it's time to face the music.
Oh, yeah.
The selection process.
The interviews.
The interviews, the assessment.
That's always the nerve-wracking part.
It can be daunting for sure.
So how does deep search help with that?
Deep search becomes your preparation coach.
Oh, okay.
Your virtual guide to navigating the selection process.
So it's like giving you a sneak peek.
In a way,
Yes. Behind the curtain.
it helps you anticipate what to expect.
Right.
So it searches for resources
Right.
that are designed to help you excel in those crucial stages.
Mm-hmm.
So it compiles common interview questions
Oh, okay.
for
So
business administration roles.
the typical things that they ask
Just
everybody.
the ones that come up again and again.
Yeah.
It identifies business case studies
Okay.
that companies might use in their evaluations.
So you can practice.
So you can get a feel for what they might throw at you. And it even tries to dig up details about the specific selection process
Oh, wow.
used by each company.
So if you know company A does things a certain way.
Right. Or if company B has a reputation for a particularly rigorous interview process,
You're prepared.
you can be extra prepared.
Do you have a specific example of?
Sure, let's go back to that process optimization role
Okay.
at the consulting firm.
Mm-hmm.
Deep search might find that they often ask candidates
Yeah.
to work through a cost reduction case study during their interview.
Okay. Yeah.
So it could then find a practice case study online
Oh, wow.
that you can use to practice.
Right. So you can get a feel for it.
Yeah, so you're not caught off guard.
And it might even find a video or an article
You could
that discusses common process analysis techniques.
exactly the kind of stuff that would be really relevant to that case.
So you're going in,
You're going in fully equipped,
yeah, with all the knowledge.
ready to tackle anything they throw at you.
And that just gives you so much more confidence.
Oh, absolutely. Confidence is key.
Yeah.
In those high-pressure situations.
When you're already nervous.
And it helps you stand out from the other candidates.
Because you're more prepared.
So to sum up deep search,
Yeah.
it really is all about giving you the information you need
Mm-hmm.
at every stage
Yeah.
to make informed decisions
Right.
and to approach your professional practice strategically.
So it's like laying the groundwork.
It's like building a solid foundation for success.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about deep search,
Yeah?
which is all about gathering information.
The information guru.
Now let's talk about its partner in crime. Think, which, as the name suggests, is about taking action,
Okay.
putting that information to work.
So deep search is finding all this great stuff.
Yeah.
And then think is saying, okay, now what are we going to do with it?
Exactly. How are we going to use this to our advantage?
Right.
To make this internship really count.
Sure.
So Think takes all that data from deep search
Right.
and helps you turn it into practical steps. Okay.
That lead to a successful and fulfilling professional practice.
So after deep search has found all these potential internships,
Yeah.
you got to choose one.
Right. You got to make a decision.
How does Think guide you in that selection process.
So Think analyzes those opportunities through a personalized lens.
Okay.
It considers your long-term career aspirations.
Yeah. So what are your goals?
What do you want to achieve in your career?
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself in 5 or 10 years?
It takes into account your values,
Absolutely.
your preferences.
What kind of work environment are you looking for?
Right.
What kind of impact do you want to make?
Do you want to be, in a fast-paced environment?
Right.
Or are you looking for something a little more laid back?
Do you thrive in a collaborative setting or...
Do you prefer to work independently?
Exactly.
And then, based on all of that,
based on all of those factors,
Think helps you weigh the pros and cons
of each opportunity.
Okay.
And recommends the one that best aligns with your goals. So it's not just about...
It's not just about the biggest paycheck or the most prestigious company name.
Yeah.
Sometimes those things can be misleading.
Right.
It's about finding the opportunity that's truly going to help you grow.
Yeah. That's going to set you up for success.
In the long run.
So let's go back to our example.
Okay.
The bank, the consulting firm, and the e-commerce company.
Right. 3 very different options.
Yeah.
So DeepSearch has given you all the details about each one. And now Think steps in.
Right.
Let's say your girl is to work in strategic consulting.
Okay.
Think might determine that while the bank offers a slightly higher stipend, the consulting firm gives you more hands-on experience in process analysis and more direct interaction with clients.
Which is crucial.
Which is exactly what you need for a career in consulting.
Right.
So Think would probably recommend the consulting firm.
Okay.
Even though the bank might pay a little bit more.
So it's prioritizing.
It's prioritizing professional development.
Yeah.
And the acquisition of relevant skills.
Over maybe a little bit.
Over short-term financial gain.
Right. Yeah.
Because in the long run, those skills are going to pay off way more.
Okay. So you've chosen your practice.
You made your decision.
Now, how do you actually maximize that experience?
How do you make the most of it?
How do you get the most out of it?
This is where Think helps you take charge.
Okay.
It helps you set clear objectives
for
your practice.
So like goals.
Goals, exactly.
So it's not just going in and saying, okay, I'm here to do whatever you tell me to do.
Right. You're not just showing up and going through the motions.
Yeah.
You're going in with a purpose.
So what specific knowledge do you want to gain?
Right.
What skills do you want to develop?
What do you want to walk away with?
Think helps you articulate those goals.
It does.
And then it suggests tasks and areas to focus on.
To help you achieve those goals.
So it's like creating a roadmap for your
Exactly.
internship.
It's your personalized internship plan. For example,
Yeah.
let's say you choose that consulting firm internship.
Okay.
Think might suggest 3 objectives.
Okay.
First, to become proficient in using process mapping software, like Visio.
Yeah.
Second, to participate in a full process optimization project.
Good.
From start to finish.
So you get the whole experience.
See the whole cycle.
And third, to improve your client presentation skills.
Oh, that's a big one.
That's a crucial one in consulting.
Yeah.
And to help you reach those goals,
Right.
I think might even suggest you seek out a mentor.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Maybe a more senior consultant within the firm.
Yeah, someone who can guide you.
Exactly.
So you're going in with a plan.
Right.
You're being proactive.
You're showing initiative.
Which always looks good,
Absolutely.
to employers.
Now, let's be real for a second.
Okay.
Internships don't always go smoothly.
Right.
There are going to be bumps in the road.
There are always challenges.
So what happens when things get tough?
Yeah.
What happens when you face obstacles?
Yeah.
Think has your back.
Think does. It's designed to help you navigate those challenges and overcome those hurdles.
Okay.
It offers solutions to common problems.
Like what kind of problems?
Like feeling overwhelmed by multiple responsibilities.
Yeah.
Or struggling to analyze complex data.
Right. Or maybe having trouble working in a team.
Yeah. Team dynamics can be tricky.
They can be really tough.
So it's like having a virtual mentor there to guide you.
Yeah.
So imagine you're at the consulting firm.
Okay.
And you're assigned to a cost reduction project with a tight deadline.
Oh, yeah. Classic consulting.
Think might suggest breaking down the problem into smaller chunks.
Okay.
So maybe you dedicate 1 day to analyzing current expenses, 2 days to identifying savings opportunities,
Okay.
and 1 day to prepare a presentation.
Okay. So you've got like a clear timeline.
It might recommend using a specific framework.
Like what?
Like Pareto analysis to help you prioritize.
All right.
And it might emphasize the importance of teamwork.
Yeah.
Validating your ideas with your team.
Right.
Getting feedback.
So you're not just off in a silo doing your own thing.
Exactly. You're collaborating.
Which is a huge part.
Which is essential in a consulting environment.
Yeah, in any business environment, really.
Right.
And all of that helps you stay calm.
It helps you stay organized.
Yeah.
Focused.
Under pressure.
And ultimately deliver strong results.
Which is what it's all about.
That's what impresses employers.
And builds your credibility.
Exactly.
Right.
So you're building a reputation for being reliable.
Okay. So as your internship comes to a close, it's not just about packing up and leaving.
It's about taking the time to reflect on what you've learned.
What did you do? Well, what could you have done better?
How have you grown professionally?
Yeah.
So Think guides you through that reflection process.
Okay.
It helps you identify your key accomplishments.
Right. What are you proud of?
What did you achieve?
What skills did you develop?
And it also helps you pinpoint areas for improvement.
Okay.
Where could you have done better?
And it's not just like a general feeling.
No, it's specific and targeted feedback.
So, for example,
let's say Think helps you realize that you really improved your process analysis skills.
Okay.
And your presentation skills.
Right.
But maybe you also realize that you struggled a bit with team conflicts.
Okay.
So based on that,
right.
Think might suggest taking a leadership workshop.
Okay.
Or a course on conflict resolution.
To build up those skills.
So you finish your internship.
Yeah.
Not just with a completed internship,
right.
but with a plan for your future.
So to summarize, Think.
Think is your action plan.
It really takes all that great information from DeepSearch and turns it into
actionable strategies, concrete steps.
You're not just
wandering aimlessly.
Yeah, you're not just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks.
You have a roadmap.
Okay, so to really see this in action,
let's walk through a scenario.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's paint a picture.
Yeah.
You're a business administration student.
Okay.
Looking for a 6-month practice.
6 months.
Yeah.
So phase 1.
Phase 1 is search and selection.
Okay.
DeepSearch gets to work.
It hits the ground running.
It scours job portals, company websites, networking platforms.
Okay.
And it finds 3 potential internships.
Okay.
1, a financial analysis role at a bank.
Okay.
2, a process optimization practice at a consulting firm.
Mm-hmm.
And 3, a risk management internship at a fintech company.
Interesting. Okay.
And for each of those, it provides all the details.
Salary information.
Salary employee reviews.
Okay.
Details about the projects you might be involved in.
So you really get a good sense of what each internship is about.
It even highlights that the fintech company is launching a new payment system.
Oh, that's exciting.
So now you've got these 3 options that it comes in and analyzes them.
Based on your interests,
your
career goals.
So let's say you're interested in finance and technology.
Okay.
And you see fintech as a growing area.
Right, a hot industry.
Yeah.
With lots of potential.
Even though the bank might offer more money.
Right.
And the consulting firm has exposure to different industries.
Mm-hmm.
I think recommends the fintech opportunity.